A car salesman quotes you $40,000 for a slightly dented sedan. You laugh, you push back, you negotiate hard, and you drive off feeling like a genius for paying $32,000. You did not win. He chose the first number, and your brain quietly built every other number around it. Meet the anchoring effect, the silent number that hijacks every price you ever judge. Imagine you're sitting in a small restaurant on a date you actually care about. The waiter hands you the wine list. Your eyes land on the top of the page first. A single bottle of Bordeaux, $300. You blink, you laugh inside, you keep scrolling. Halfway down, you find a bottle for $65. It feels reasonable, almost a bargain. You order it without thinking. 2 weeks earlier, in a different restaurant, a $65 bottle would have made you choke on your bread. Tonight, it feels like restraint. Nothing about the wine changed, only the first number you ever saw. If we apply this in the practical, real world, the anchor is almost never an accident. Salary negotiations are decided in the first sentence. Whoever says a number first plants the anchor. The other person spends the rest of the conversation orbiting it. Real estate listings open high on purpose, so every price cut feels like a gift. Retailers print a crossed-out original price, then a sale price below it, knowing you will compare the two, not the actual value of the product. Your defense is simple. Before any negotiation, write your own number down on paper. That paper becomes your anchor, and the other side has to argue against it. In 1974, Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman, two psychologists working between Hebrew University and Stanford, designed a deliberately strange test. They spun a rigged wheel of fortune in front of each participant. The wheel landed on 10 or 65. Then they asked a totally unrelated question. What percentage of African countries belong to the United Nations? People who saw the wheel land on 10 guessed an average of 25%. People who saw it land on 65 guessed 45%. A meaningless spinning wheel had dragged their estimate of world geography. Tversky and Kahneman called the bias anchoring and adjustment. The mechanism is ancient. Long before prices and percentages, your ancestors had to make fast estimates in unfamiliar territory: the depth of a river, the distance of a herd, the size of a rival tribe. The brain learned to grab the first piece of information available and adjust outward from there. A rough anchor was safer than no anchor. In modern life, that same shortcut still fires. The first number you see, even if it is obviously irrelevant, becomes the silent reference point. Your brain thinks it is adjusting away from it, but it never adjusts far enough. The anchor stays in the dirt. Anchoring runs through 3 quiet stages. First, exposure. The moment a number enters your field of attention, your brain quietly locks it as a starting point, even if you swear you ignored it. Second, adjustment. You begin reasoning away from the anchor, but the effort feels expensive. Your mind stops adjusting long before it should. Third, settlement. You land on a final figure that feels independent, but it is almost always pulled toward the first number you ever saw. As Daniel Kahneman wrote in Thinking, Fast and Slow, any number that you are asked to consider as a possible solution to an estimation problem will induce an anchoring effect. So, here's a question for you. When was the last time someone dropped a number on you, a price, a salary, a deadline, and you felt yourself negotiating against it instead of from scratch? Tell us in the comments, and next time, the quiet bias that makes you absolutely certain everyone in the room is staring at the stain on your shirt when almost nobody noticed it at all.